What is going on, everybody? So today I'm going to take you to an aquarium that's been up for 15 years. Like, that's insane. It's I think it's one of the longest running aquariums that we have in our service route. But before we do that, I want to take you to another aquarium that's only 7 months old, and we can kind of like look at the difference between the two tanks. The tank is just now finding itself, so let's go ahead and check it out, and we can kind of go over the differences between the two tanks. Now here's a relatively new tank compared to the one we're about to see. This one's been up for about, I think, 6 months now, and a little bit longer than that maybe. And we're just now getting to the point of where the tank is getting dialed in. So we dealt with brown algae in here. If you've seen some of my past videos, we dealt with brown algae, we dealt with green hair algae, and we got rid of the browns and we just got rid of the hair algae, and we're starting to get coralline algae growth on the rocks because we knocked out those algae, which is, you know, super critical to allowing the coralline algae to kind of get set. And there's a decent amount of fish in here if we can kind of run through it. We got, you know, that anthias is amazing right there. Some chromis, clownfish, cardinal fish. We got a dotty back, which is surprisingly behaving itself. I never trust those fish, but this one's getting along with everybody. It's weird. And we have another springery dotty back there, so I guess they're minding their own. We have a striped blenny and a mystery wrasse back there, and an assessor, yellow assessor, and a mascobie, which I want to add some more mascobies. See the cleaner shrimp in the back, and then of course, you know, this puffer fish, which we actually just recently took a puffer out of this tank. There was 2 in here, but the other one was getting too big, and I think was contributing to some of the green hair algae bloom because the bioload in the tank was just, it was too much. Now, as far as the corals go, now keep in mind, I just turned on the lights. The lights don't come on yet. I just turned them on. It's got a couple of zoas in here. It's just basically soft corals is what's doing well right now. Mushrooms, anemone's looking amazing. Got another mushroom here. I think, and this gorgonia is doing good, and another mushroom right there. This acan, for whatever reason, is struggling. But what we're going to do here going forward is, what's going to happen with this tank going forward is it's going to be moved. The customer is moving to a new home. So unfortunately, after all our hard work and the tank finally getting dialed in, this tank is going to end up having to move, which is frustrating because that's going to kind of be a bit of a restart. That means we're going to probably get some brown algae. There's going to be a bit of a restart there, but it is what it is. Hopefully, you know, we're going to keep all the same water, rock, sand, and all that stuff, the majority of the sand at least. But yeah, that's right when we get where you want to be, the customer is going to move into a new house. But that's the way it goes. So we're going to move it. It's a pretty far ride. Bag up all the fish and everything like that, reset it up. And I think after that, because it already has that beneficial bacteria, because the tank is balanced now, I think it should self-regulate really quick. I don't think we have to really worry about getting in some hair algae issues or brown algae too bad. I think it'll fix itself pretty quick. So I think we're gonna not add any more coral until that move, because I just don't feel like it's worth it right now to do that. I mean, it's just be more things I have to worry about on the move. So maybe we just halt for now. And that goes along with fish too, because I definitely think we can get a lot more fish in this tank. But if we're gonna move it, it's just probably best to wait until it's moved.
All in all, I'm really happy with the way this tank is progressing. I'm glad we're finally getting to the point where we can start, you know, after the move, really start putting some really cool corals in here and really start decking this thing out. I'll feel comfortable enough to do that. Start moving on to LPS and eventually, hopefully, some harder corals. And then add a couple more fish. But all in all, I'm really happy with the way this tank is progressing. And it just goes to show you, you know, if anybody says the reefing hobby, you know, is quick, it's not. The most important thing in this hobby is to have patience. And we took our time with this tank, and we went through the cycles, we went through the ups and downs, and now here at like the 6.5, 7 month period, we're finally getting a system that is getting healthy and balanced. You're going to go through, you know, your brown phases and your green phases. You're going to have some rough times. Just stick it out, get through it. Know you're going to go through it, prep for it, and then be proactive. So yeah, I'm really excited for the future of this tank.
All right, so here we are at the tank, and would you believe it that this aquarium as is 15 years old. And as a matter of fact, this carpet anemone, I've been told by the owner, is 30 years old. carpet anemone's name is Max, of course. 30 years old for that carpet anemone. That's pretty cool. And this might be the oldest coral that we have in any customer's tank.
Now let's take a tour of the tank. So this carpet anemone and these hammers actually came in at the same time. We have multiple colonies of it. From what I've been told, these two came in at the same time. So these are roughly just as old as this carpet anemone, which is amazing. Really, really cool. We have some blue mushrooms right here that have kind of, discosoma mushrooms that have kind of taken over this whole area. I keep fragging and try to getting out as many as possible. But if anybody who's had discosoma mushrooms knows, these guys are relentless. Then we recently added this, and by recent I mean like a year ago, added this toadstool to the tank, which is doing phenomenal. Those polyps are absolutely beautiful. I love toadstool corals. They're like one of my favorites. We have this star polyp, which we put in this like about the same time as that toadstool. And look, it's only spread to right here. It hasn't really done much. It's healthy, the polyp's strong, but it hasn't really spread. The idea is he wanted to put this in there to kind of compete with the mushrooms, to keep the mushrooms at bay, and give some of the real estate to the green star polyp, but it's just not taking off for whatever reason. So we're gonna get some more of that. Then if we come over on this side, now those of you who watch my videos know that this tank was infested with flatworms. We've pretty much eradicated them out of this tank through several treatments. Over here we have some more mushrooms, which have kind of died back a bit, but they're starting to recover slightly. And then we got more blush, and we got more blue mushrooms like all in the back there. Now what is really cool is these corals, which he had in the tank from a long, long time ago, were doing terrible. They were actually almost completely gone. And through tank services and through us getting the water chemistry right, they've actually kind of grown, and not just grown, they've taken off. This monopore right here is capping out, and it's starting to come in contact with this coral right here. So what I'm gonna do today is frag some of this back, give this a little bit more space. I'm gonna take this out because this guy right here is limited in space. So on the back he has the mushrooms. Over here he's gonna get stung by the hammer, and over here he's coming by that fast money cap. So we gotta give him some more space. So I'm gonna take this out, frag some of those mushrooms, and clip him back to give him more space. We don't want him to take over. I'd rather have him grow this way and cap out. We also have a blue sponge right there, a little frag of that. That's doubled in size since I put it in a couple weeks ago. Really nice blood red frog spawn, and then a bunch of these trash pallies right here, which is anybody, this is how you know this tank is really old. Is these used to be really popular in the hobby back in the day, but they are kind of just a scourge now. They grow quickly, they sting, they're toxic. I don't like these. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna slowly start to treat these with like an aptasia remover. It's very slowly, just a little bit at a time. We're gonna start in this area, and we're gonna eventually take out this whole area right here and get them down to a number that's manageable so that we can take the rock out and pop it off. Otherwise, they're gonna continue to encroach on like the hammer coral and the frog spawn and take over more real estate, which we want for other corals. We don't want them to take over. And you know, they're not very colorful, they're kind of boring, and they're toxic, so we're gonna get rid of them. And they spread quickly. Oh, down here we have some Paligrandis, which this is another recent coral that we put in here. Doing great, gaining some heads down there. But all in all, this tank, you know, for 15 years old, this build, you know, this is what you see, is very low maintenance tank, nothing too, you know, fancy about it. Simple sump setup. 2 power heads on either side. Old school light hanging from the top there, which is doing a great job. It's able to grow SPS, right? But 15 years, this tank has been going. Easy maintenance. Customer's happy with it. There's just something about these older tanks that I like to share with you guys. I just had to share this with you because, 15 years is a long time. The tank was struggling there for a bit, had some flatworms. We took care of that. We added some more corals, which are doing good. We're still going to make improvements to it. It's going to look even better in the future. And I just kind of wanted to show you because, 15 years is a long time for a tank to be up and running. It's definitely possible. This is the original build. And it's just kind of cool. And I just, kind of reefing history right here. But we're going to modernize we're going to modernize it, get some, some more brighter corals. Let me know what you guys think would work well in here. I'm thinking some type of acro or something, some branching coral. Softies seem to do really well in here. I want to get rid of this, clear up this real estate for something else. Obviously LPS, hammers and stuff like that are doing really well. Let me know what you guys think what else we should add in here. I want to kind of make this tank, bring it into now. So we got all the old school corals in here. Let's put some new school corals in here. Some stuff that, corals will add a lot more color to the tank and add another dimension. Now, when I do a water change in here, it's nothing too crazy. I probably do about 20%, if that. Usually the levels check out pretty well. Your nitrates, your phosphates, all of the big four always check out really well. This tank is, mature. It's dialed in. Oh, look, we got 2 cleaner shrimp in there getting along just fine. Waving hand Anthelia up there. But yeah, slight water change, nothing too big, just to kind of help with the water chemistry. A water change big enough to help with the water chemistry. We're here, I think, once a month, and there's not a heavy bioload in the tank, so there's no need for like a major 50% water change. And we did a significant amount of water changes on this tank recently, just for the simple fact that we treated for the flatworms, and in doing that, we did hefty water changes during that process. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you have any questions, please leave it down in the comments. See you in the next one.